Good morning. I was told to get more energy into my presentations. Maybe somebody will listen to me. But anyway, today it's critical thinking again. I uh, I wish I could. Anyway, it's a foundational issue, so I'm going to talk about it for a few times here. Critical thinking, Christian ethics. Yeah, Christian ethics, Christian ideals. Now, is that foundational issue? Is that a foundational issue? Well, I think you could be arguing, technically, no, it's not foundational in a sense if you don't believe in Christian theology. But many of the people do. And the reason I bring this up is because I saw a clip, and usually I see clips and brings to mind something, and that's what generates, you know, these type of video clips on my channel. North Dakota, a center of Republicanness, which is a center of Christian ethics, is it not? Now, I don't know if this particular state senator is a Christian or an atheist or, whatever. It really doesn't matter. It's just a topic that, in this case, because people speak about their Christianity in such glowing terms, and yet do not live to the Christian ideals that they promote. Is that common? Absolutely. What are you going to do? As one of the comments in a previous clip said, true and all, but. Yeah, exactly. True and all. But what are you going to do? Well, my position is yes, you can do something, and it's you. Whoever is listening to this, it's you. It's me. You are a part of society. Your general concept, your example, your position in life, whatever it is, you know, doctor, dentist, Burger King worker, whatever. It doesn't matter. You have a sphere of influence and you impact others. Well, these particular ideals, which is Christian, supposedly is to serve others. I have two positions in the Christian perspective. My two positions in generality, and I'll speak to it a little more in depth later, but in another clip. But they're basically this: agape. Paul said, you know, love one another. Well, love not in the emotional set, the true emotional huggy and oh, I love you and all that. Respect, you know, uh, just respect. I don't care who you are, respect that you're a human being. Now, some people, as was quoted in Killer Angels by Michael Cera, a novel about Gettysburg and the Civil War, and I do look at Civil War issues because I see parallels today in the Civil War, and there's going to be more of those. But one character in that there was a discussion with Colonel Chamberlain at the time, who was going to be one of the heroes of Gettysburg, and he was. I mean, the guy was wounded many times, had many horses shot from under him. He just kept going. Massachusetts college teacher, and well, no, Maine. I'm sorry, I spoke. Got to make that clear. Maine college teacher. Um, he even lied to get out of this college to go on sabbatical, and kind of deceived his college authority so he could go to enlist or volunteer at that time in the Northern Army to do what he thought was right, and he did. I mean, he was a major influence in many battles and many things. But Bottom line is, he was a good man who lived up to his standards. You know, on all things, who can say? I don't know. I don't know. You know, his wife seemed to love him because she wrote many letters, and you know they were quite emotional and sentimental. But I don't know how he treated his men. Apparently, they did admire him, but I don't know for sure. I don't know much about the man. But what I do know, what I do see, is that he did what he said he would do. Simple enough. And lived to a certain standard, a certain level of understanding. But he was talking to this gentleman, you know, an enlisted guy, which colonels usually don't do in the military. So you won't, you know, get a little question. But he was a college guy, you know, so he's pretty liberal. Anyway, he's talking to this guy, and the gentleman in the novel was from Ireland, and they had terrible situation going on in the Irish uh, community at that time. Terrible persecutions. Terrible. Just it's unbelievable what people do to one another. Anyway, the comment from this one gentleman was when they're talking about people in general. In this case, the topic of conversation was about the black community. But but he just said in general, he says, you know, he says, I don't respect people. There are some people that have no more value than a dead dog. Is that true? Are there no more value than a dead dog? And, you know, and he added to that comment by saying the way these people murdered each other and just horrible, horrible thing, which wasn't just Ireland. You know, they've been doing horrible things with one another for a long, long time. But anyway, the bottom, excuse me, the bottom line is, you know, it's an interpretation of the value that you have. He saw in this case, and many people, in my estimation, do not have value, are not giving value. They're taking things, taking, always taking, not giving. And what is giving? Giving isn't a facade. It's a desire to do good, in my definition, in this context. Giving is something that you give to one another. I give my service, I give my help, I give my love, I give my presence, I give to make someone feel better, not to take away, not to demean. I, I don't give to somebody to take their life. You give to give something to them. Well, excuse me, this North Dakota guy presented a whole thing representing, which was voted in, apparently, um, to not fund children lunches because the feds give enough. Why should we give in the state more? Why should we give more value? And I don't know the level of standard in which the kids in North Dakota are getting quality lunches from the federal coffers, but they are getting something apparently. They're not starving. But this gentleman who represents the Republican Party, who said he's a person of family values, who says give, does not want to give. But then the Republicans, shortly after that, what did they do? You think maybe they had a change of heart and gave some more money to the kids? Yeah. Now, sadly, they increased their per diem. Their per diem, what they get for meals and expenditures when they're on the road. Gifts from the state to these guys who are already fairly well off. And the state doesn't pay as much as, you know, for a state kind. Well, it depends on the state, but you know, they don't pay as much as you would get if you were a federal congressman. But that's what their focus was. I'm not going to give to the kids, the hungry, the potentially hungry and disenfranchised children. And don't get me wrong, there are problems in the food program. They give away stuff all the time that shouldn't be given. There should be, monitoring of a needs base, not just give. But there's problems in government. There's definitely problems in government. And, it's up to you guys, you, who the viewers, whoever you are, me, to talk about these things and to elevate it and to think about it when it comes to a school board decision and who you're voting for and all this other stuff. Who you are as a child, as a person, what you're going to be in life. I just suggest that when they talk about it, and his statement at the end, he says, where does it stop on the payment to children for lunches? Where does it stop? He says. I thought that was crass and sad. I mean, there's a legitimate question. Where does all this spending stop? Where does your football program stop? Where does your such and such stop? Where does your moon research stop? Where does your $10 billion to send the Webb telescope up stop? Where does it stop? It's up to you. You, the viewer. Me, the speaker and a viewer. Because I look at these things. But there is critical thinking involved in this. The Christian ethic is not being adhered to, in my mind, by many leaders who profess Christianity. Think about it. That's the whole point of this clip, or these clips. I want you to think about things and become a better person because of your thinking about things. Going to the good. Always go to the good. Is this guy going to the good? Is the Republicans going to the good? Maybe. You have to find out a little bit, don't you? Especially if you're in North Dakota. But then on top of that, I'm going to kick myself up a few dollars on per diem because I don't want to pay. I just don't want to go to, McDonald's all the time. I want to get my per diem, and the people, anyway, they're not being fair in their per diem anyway. It's just the way people are, There are many people who are honest, don't get me wrong. They're honest to a T. But that's not the majority of people. People have a tendency to change things a little bit. But anyway, some things are harmful, some things aren't. Whether you change this or that or whatever is, you're allowed your $20 a day for meals. That's what you want. They want 25, whatever it is. I don't know. But, maybe they want 50. I really don't know. But it's just, in context with taking away or not saying where does it stop for my per diem level? Where does it stop for the hungry children who may really need this? They may need this. Not everybody in public school needs lunch. There's many people who get the benefit of a free lunch when they are affluent. That's up to the people in the organization to change these things. But the idea, think about the idea, the background, the essence of the context of it. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Pass this on, if you will, to, whoever. Put your likes on, subscribe if you like. I keep forgetting to say those things, but, on one of the clips, I got an increase in readership fairly significantly, which really, I guess, says that people are out there looking at this, and I want more people to think. Have a great day. Bye for now.